What's up, Rebel Nation? It's Cam Wicker from the Rebel Walk, co-host of the podcast that you're tuned into right now, the Rebel Talk. In this week's episode, Zach and I are joined by Ole Miss defensive tackle Will Echoles. Will joined us to talk a little bit about his high school career, his career at Ole Miss so far, spring practice in 2025, and just some personal stuff about him that you may not know just to get to know him a little bit better. Will joined us inside the Manning Center practice facility. This also was the first ever in-person podcast that we did for the Rebel Talk, so huge shout out to Will for that. Make sure to leave a like and comment on the episode to keep up with all of our stuff at the Rebel Walk. And with that being said, enjoy the show. Welcome back, Rebel Nation. You're listening to another episode of the Rebel Talk presented by the Rebel Walk. I'm Cam Wicker, and as always, I'm here with Zach Moreth, and we're here with another special episode here in person today with defensive tackle Will Echoles from Ole Miss. It's been a pretty long spring. It feels like it seems like it's been kind of slowly going by here at the end. Will, just kind of your overall thoughts of just the spring so far and what's been going on in spring camp.
Well, we got a bunch of new guys, so we've been trying to get them to learn the defense. So we've been flying around, making plays. I really feel like these past couple weeks, our defense really been like we done clicked together and grew more like together. Like since now we got a bunch of new guys, we done really grew together and got better as a defense.
Absolutely. And Will, you talk about those new guys. Is it hard kind of making so many different relationships? Or, even better, if I had to play with a group of 20 new players, I'd be walking around like, what are these guys' names? Is that a hard process for you?
No, not really, because like just with our team, we were real. We like our team is really together. Like just like outside of football too. So like when we in public, we see each other. We hang out outside, like just outside of these walls. So like it's not hard just learning the new guys, building a relationship.
Going back to a little bit of your high school days, you're unanimous four-star prospect out of high school. You're Mr. Mississippi 4A football. All-American games, All-Star games all around. Just what was that process like being a top high school recruit? Like what was that something like you
Man,
just thought of every day and dreamed of as a kid, and then when it's happening, it's kind of just going through the motions?
man. I mean, yeah, but like I didn't I didn't really blow up until like going to my senior year. So I mean, it was. I mean, I always wanted it. I always worked for it, but I always felt like I was really just underrated. So and I always kept the fuel up under me to go hard because I knew I was one of the best players in the state, if not the best. So that, like just like that, just that the thought of somebody thinking that it's like 30 other players better than me, it just really like lit the fuel up under me to keep going.
Yeah, man. And like you said, you jumped drastically going into that senior year. I'm curious, Will, did you play against any of the guys who are currently at Ole Miss in Mississippi?
Um, I don't, nah, I didn't. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. I didn't.
Fair enough. And
I didn't.
then just to follow up with that, playing high school ball in Houston, we've talked about Chris Jones, we talked about it at the podium. For the viewers who didn't see it, just describe your relationship and what it's like, having a local guy from Houston who's now a Super Bowl champion in the NFL.
Me and Chris relationship. I can text him. We can have a conversation. Easy. I talked to him while I was during my recruiting process, and he helped me out a little bit. He gave me some advice. So I think my relationship with him pretty good.
So you played a lot of O-line in high school. Played a handful of defense in high school, or just mainly offense?
I mean, like my junior year, I didn't play. I didn't play defense to the playoffs. I played defense, but I didn't really have to play it because we had other guys.
Sure.
So I just played offense. But my senior year, that's when I took over, like played both sides of the ball.
So what were those conversations like when you got to become a recruit at a higher level? And what were those conversations like when you finally sat down with coaches and they were like, I want to play defense. Some guys wanted you to play offense. What was those conversations like when you were in the room with those coaches?
Um, I mean, it was a point where I was open to playing either one. I feel like I was a great alignment, good alignment to play in the SEC. But I wasn't quite big enough. But I knew I could play defense because it was like, everybody loves defense. You feel me? So, um, they just tell me like they gonna let me play what I want to play. Like they gonna let me make my own decision on like what position I want to play because they wanted me. No matter they just, I say this like half of the time they wanted me on the team, not even
Right.
just like for like offensive defense. They just wanted me on the team. You feel me? So like they just let me me decide what I want to play.
No, I mean, if I was the O-line coach, I'd be like, I'd be upset personally if you came here and played D-line and that's
Yeah.
clearly what happened. But you know what? You're doing a great job over there too. So I want to take you, back to when you signed, Will. You signed, you come to Ole Miss, and then I think it was about a month later when Ole Miss just goes berserk in the transfer portal, and you start bringing in, Princely, Walter Nolan. You return Jared Ivey, JJ, all these guys. What was it like learning underneath them, and what's your relationships like with those guys who are now going to go in the NFL here?
I mean, when I had signed and they had got in the portal and signed too, I mean, I was happy. I knew we were gonna have a good team. I was gonna learn from like Walter Nolan. I've been watching him since he was in high school and I was in high school. So I mean, just learning from new guys. I'm like Ji probably one of the smartest people I know, football wise. Like he really a master of the game. And JJ, I feel like man, JJ like I don't want to say this, but we kind of acted like if you ain't never, you got to be around it. We kind of acted like, but yeah, he was a great role. He was a great role model for me. Just being around him and learning how to be a pro. You feel me? And just with Walt, Walt just a dog, bro. So like just being around a dog and having that mentality, it really just grew on me. And just being around Princely. Princely is a fun guy, like bro, incredible to be around. You feel me? One of like really like all them guys. Like man, I love being around them guys. Like I had some of like the most fun
Yeah.
in college. Like just being around them guys. Like us just hanging out and stuff like that. So like it was fun when I was here.
And real quick, Will, I'm going to add on to that. Is Prince Will similar to Princely at all? And, how's your relationship with him developed too?
Oh yeah, they're like they really they kind of like, but yeah, they almost the same person. They act just like honestly, but me and Princely, me and Prince Will getting closer because like now I got here in the summertime and Princely was already here, so I ain't get as much time as I'm gonna get with Prince Will. So me and Prince Will relationship, I mean it's getting bigger and better like every week.
So, and speaking of that defensive line last year, they're otherworldly. Their talent speaks for themselves. But it seems like there's more pieces to this D line this year than there were a year ago. You feel that same way? You feel like the D line this year is a little bit deeper than that D line was last year?
I mean it's no drop off. I mean of course you can't replace them guys, but we got right now we got a very hard working group. And I mean it's different pieces. Like our defensive line was probably the most like under experienced than Ole Miss D line has been in a long time. So I say that, but that just goes to show we work. We actually have to like work. Feel me? Because like we don't have the experience, so like we got to take advantage of everything and every opportunity we get.
Absolutely. And I want to talk about one of those guys who, you actually signed with Will, but Cam Franklin. I think it was last year. Princely told us Cam has been developing and really expanding on his game at a high level.
Yeah.
How have you seen him, and what's his production like, and what can fans expect going into year two?
Man, Cam, bro, man, he done came a long way, bro. With me and him, I came a long way. And he get better each and every day. Now he's starting to learn the whole of the defense. Like when Cam was freshman, it was just about us learning our job and what we got to do. But now it's getting to where we learning other people's jobs and the back end job and the defense and the reasoning of why we calling that call, or running that call. So it's been cool to see him grow as a player and everything.
Last football related question for me, and I'll get some personal ones. But I know Kiffin always talks about next game mentality. Next opponent on the schedule was the biggest game, but for you, what game are you looking forward to the most next year?
Probably Florida since they beat us last year.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a great game. We got them here this time, so I'm really looking forward to that game.
And then, last year, obviously on the road in Carolina, the Swamp, LSU. What do you think was the most difficult environment to play in?
So probably I think LSU.
Yeah.
LSU because like bro, the fans like like some stadiums the fans just be on that side. This fan like all the way around it. So like man, that stadium got loud. But
No, I was watching on TV and I was like, I can barely hear the announcer.
yeah, it got loud, like real loud, but it was crazy.
A few weeks ago, you told the media that you were, from a Mississippi State dominated area of the state. I'm curious, did your family, a lot of your family members and friends, are they state fans? Are they all more drawn to state than Ole Miss?
I mean, well, I think all my family Will fans. So I don't think it was more of a Mississippi State or Ole Miss. They
playing against Mississippi State. Is it weird, I guess, kind of knowing that Chris Jones was a guy from your hometown who went to state, kind of made himself there, and then trying to do the opposite of that, but at Ole Miss?
I mean, y'all probably don't know this, but Chris Jones was actually supposed to come to Ole Miss. There's a lot of people don't know that though, but he was supposed to come to Ole Miss. And I want to say he flipped like the day of signing day.
Really?
Like really, that's how close he was. But I mean, it just make my own legacy. I mean, I never tried to be like Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just two guys from Mississippi, Houston, Mississippi, that's trying to make a way for their family and chase their dreams.
Absolutely. I know you haven't lived here for a little while now, but so far since you've been here, what's been your favorite part about this town? You got any like favorite place to eat? What do you do when you're not playing football here?
Bro, honestly, I mean, as far as eating wise, like I'm a big steak guy, so I done been to Tico's, Lenore's. I went to Lenore's like the other day. It was my first time trying it, and it was pretty good. But probably them two on the square right now. And as far as hanging out, I mean, I like on campus activities. Like, it's always something to do, actually. So I mean, it just depends on like what I'm feeling or what I'm feeling. But half the time, hanging with my teammates,
Right.
like Cam Franklin or something like that. I damn near be with him every day. So I mean, half the time that's like we just chilling.
And then kind of the last question from me, Will. Going against Austin Simmons, obviously you spent some time going against Dart last year. What kind of differences do you see? Any similarities? And what can we expect to see from Austin this season?
I mean, Austin obviously a left-hand quarterback, so but Austin is very poised in the pocket. In the pocket, he don't get nervous or rattled, as I see that when he played Georgia. So I mean, I expect big things out of him, just like the fans do, and I'm ready to watch him on Saturdays. Go for it.
Yes, sir. Guys, and I got one more for you, and then we'll end it with a message to the fans. But you're a gamer at all, Will? I'm curious.
Yeah, I've been on the game sometimes. I don't have time for it though. When I play, I get on, bro. I mean, I've been on probably NCAA. I got Warzone, 2K, something like that.
Yeah. Oh. So college football game going to come out again this summer. What do you want your rating to be, and what do you expect it to be?
Bro, I need my stuff at least like between that. Right, I'm improving right now, so I at least need an 80 to 85. You feel me? And by halfway of the season when they updated, bro, I should be like a 88, 89, get close to a 90, bro. We gonna see though, man.
No, I think it's good. You set those goals and see what
Yeah.
happens, bro. And then again, kind of to wrap it up here, if you had a message to the fans, Will, those tuning in who don't really know you, what can they expect to see from you in Vaught-Hemingway this fall?
I mean, you're gonna see a player who goes out there and play hard. He plays for the person, not for like himself, but the people beside him. And you really gonna see how much the name on his back really means to him. Because you're gonna see it every time I play, every play I play, and who I'm really doing it for is my family, my friends, my loved ones. And that's what you're gonna get out of these Rebel fans.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Will Echoles today for joining us here on the show. Very special episode. First time we've kind of done something in person like this. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a like and comment on this video to keep up with rebelwalk.com. Subscribe to Will on social media. Subscribe to me and Zach on social media. And as always, tune into rebelwalk.com for all of your Ole Miss sports needs.